Pierre Dorion already has his good luck charm ready to have in his pocket for the draft lottery on June the 26th. Do you have any superstitions or any good luck charm for that day too?
I've always been successful visioning what I want. So I've already envisioned we're getting one, so it's over.
With the NHL's regular season officially over, so too is DJ Smith's inaugural season behind the bench with the Ottawa Senators, and he's been kind enough to join us now. DJ, it's good to see you. You hear me all right?
Yeah, all good.
All right. Well, first question. When you look at your maiden voyage in the nation's capital, I know the results weren't always there in terms of wins, but certainly improvements were made from the start of camp to when things came to a pause in March. When you think of the highlights of your first year calling the shots with the Senators, what comes to mind for you?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we weren't basing it, and we wanted to win as many games as possible, that's for sure. But we wanted to make sure that the practice habits, the culture, the work ethic, our in-game effort was ultimately the number one thing that we changed, and I think we did that. We practiced hard, our work in the gym. And I've said before, 71 games, I'd say we either even or outworked the other team 68 of them. And you know what? That's a kudos to the players. Now, as we get more skill, that skill can continue to work. We're going to win hockey games.
When you look over the course of this year, I mean, certainly there were some good moments. There were some trying times too. The blue line was ravaged with injury at one point. Some losing streaks that you're trying to put an end to as well. Just going through this for the first time as a head coach in the NHL, DJ, who did you lean on in those moments?
You know what? I think it was imperative that I had a staff that had been through it. Jack had been a head coach. Davis Payne had been a head coach. And certainly through that time there where we had, I think, 4 regular defensemen out. Nilsson, the goalie, who was, our starter for most of the time there, was out. And then there was a stretch where we had Pajot and a couple other guys out all together, and those were trying times. But you got to remind yourself in the middle of the rebuild what this is all about, and it's about making the kids better. So every time someone went down, it gave an opportunity to someone else.
You mentioned the kids. I mean, Josh Norris, the AHL Rookie of the Year, Drake Batherson, Alex Formanton got some individual accolades as well from their season down in Belleville. DJ, not knowing what's going to happen at the draft, what's going to happen throughout free agency. I mean, when you look at that crop of players down in Belleville from this past season, how many of them do you think have a realistic chance to be full-time Ottawa Senators whenever next season gets underway?
It's going to be hard to tell what we do with free agency, certainly. You would think at least probably 4 of them, maybe a little bit more. And then towards the end of the year, maybe you have as many as 5 or 6. So, but ultimately you have to beat somebody out. And there's other players that, people don't talk about that are say not in the limelight. But people that have put their time in there that aren't going to give their spot away either. And we got to make sure we give it to the most willing people or most deserving, players. Those 3 players that you mentioned that had those accolades, or that you didn't mention, but I'm going to mention Norris, Batherson, and Formanton, who were recognized in the American Hockey League. These are guys that are going to push for jobs, and they went down and did what they had to do, but no one's going to give their job up.
And in the meantime, I know you've been spending some time poring over video of the teams that you feel are the best in the league and trying to figure out what makes them successful and what you can maybe borrow from them moving forward. What's stood out to you so far over that process?
Well, the biggest thing is you have to have the puck. The more you have the puck, the easier it is to play defense. And whether that be breaking out and having the puck, whether it be forechecking to get the puck back, whether it be holding it onto it on offense, you can't give the puck away like you used to. The players are too good. So we have to find a way to have 5 guys around the puck a lot more. And make it easier for the players and tell them exactly what we wanted. I think a lot of our focus last year was on work-based. I expect that won't drop, but now we have to have the puck a little bit more, and that means winning more face-offs, all these things. If we have the puck more, it's hard to get scored on when you have the puck.
It seems still so uncertain, obviously, in a global perspective, but for your team as well, DJ, not knowing when a training camp's going to happen, a development camp, and next season to top everything off. Have you had any ideas or any conversations about how the team hopes to spend what's going to be a pretty lengthy layoff here before you're playing meaningful games again?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's still waiting to be seen with the 7 teams that aren't playing at all, whether they'll be able to bring guys in at some point, or how that'll work, or the informal workouts, or. But I mean, we got to take advantage of this time off, whether it be getting skills coaches out to see guys in the summertime, or guys working with their own skills coach. And one of the biggest things that I got to make sure is that our team is one of the fittest teams in the National Hockey League when we come back. There's no excuses. You have 9 months to reinvent yourself. No matter what your injury was, no matter how you finish the year, you have a long time to get yourself ready. And there's no excuses why we can't be one of the best shaped teams in the league. And if we are, then we can play at the pace that I feel that this team can play at, and be much more difficult to play against next season.
All right, so you've got all that to worry about. Junior hockey is very much in the same boat. Your son Colton, a second-round pick to London in the OHL priority draft just a couple of months ago. How is DJ, the hockey dad, handling this time too?
You know what? I started to work him out, and then quickly realized that he doesn't like that as the workout coach. So, you know what? He does a lot of the programs London gives him. I do give him stuff a little bit better with my wife, who's big into fitness, giving him stuff. So, we bought ourselves a Peloton. We actually bought into a CrossFit gym down here in Windsor, all level CrossFit. So, hopefully those things can open up and we can use those. But right now the weather's nice. The pool's out. It's good just to enjoy just regular life.
All right, I'm going to ask about the fitness stuff at the very end, DJ. But before that, the draft, of course, it's the big topic here in Ottawa and the opportunity that this organization has. I know you've talked about leaving a lot of that stuff up to the scouting staff and the hard work that they've poured into all of it all season long for a number of years now. But given, you were a part of a very similar type rebuild in Toronto that got Austin Matthews first overall in 2016, how can you describe just the value of a well-executed draft with a little bit of luck mixed in with regards to making a rebuild the best it possibly can be?
Well, I think I've mentioned in a couple other interviews is that, Vancouver Canucks struggled there for a stretch, and then they had the Sedin brothers in one draft, and before you know it, they're competitive for 20 years. We have some good players and some good players coming up, and we plan on adding here with this draft. I mean, you could, they're saying it's the deepest draft in a long time. We have 3 first-round picks, possibly could pick 1. And when you get players like that, they're special franchise players that can be the difference. I mean, you look at our division, Austin Matthews, Eichel, Barkov, Bergeron, Chara, Stamkos, and Kucherov. I mean, that's just our division. That's Montreal with Carey Price. You need special players if you want to knock all these teams off. And I think we're going to get one, if not 2 of those guys. I think we've got a couple on our own team already. And in time, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
All right. So Pierre Dorion already has his good luck charm ready to have in his pocket for the draft lottery on June the 26th. Do you have any superstitions or any good luck charm for that day too?
I just vision that what I've always been successful visioning what I want. So I've already envisioned we're getting 1, so it's over.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Just like that. Final
just
one
like
for
that,
you.
we're getting 1. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, good. Final one for you, DJ. I would love to know your favorite or maybe the most difficult at-home workout you and your wife, Christy, have done so far during this.
Well, you know what? There's a workout called Murph in CrossFit. That's
you've done that?
Yeah, I've done it.
Oh my gosh.
Run a mile, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and run a mile. And if anyone's seen me, I got more of a weightlifter, power lifter physique. So anytime you throw running in with lifting, it's as hard as it gets. And actually, she does it with the weight vest on. So she's in superior shape. I just battle to try and be able to enjoy a little bit more pizza.
That's right. Ultimately, that's what we're doing it for. I tip my cap to both of you for enduring that. And of course, I hope both of you and the rest of your family are staying safe. DJ, thank you very much for doing this. And hopefully we'll see you at a rink sooner rather than later.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.